Our continuing series, American Voices This Morning, explores the state of Ohio. We are examining how national issues are playing out in state and local governments. Ohio's Republican Governor John Kasich ran for president in 2016. During the Trump presidency, he has emerged as a leading voice calling for unity in politics. Kasich joined with governors on both sides of the aisle, looking for bipartisan solutions on issues like health care and immigration. Governor Kasich, welcome back. I want to start with the shooting in Las Vegas, especially about how it's renewed calls again for gun control. Now, you have voted in the past for a ban on assault weapons. Surely that hasn't changed in light of this latest shooting. What are you thinking today?
Well, Gayle, I mean, if you really want to get something done, the way to do it is you've got to get the people who are the strong gun advocates, the people who are not just going to, who don't want to listen, and those who favor gun control, who are not going to be extreme from the standpoint of saying my way or no way. You got to get them, law enforcement and experts, in a room, and you got to say, okay, we got to let some pressure out of the pressure cooker. We can't just ignore things. So is this bump business where you can take a gun and make it automatic? But I'll tell you what people tell me who understand this. They say you can take all the devices away. We still know how to make it sort of automatic. What I believe has to happen is people of goodwill have to sit in a room and hammer something out. Because my mother used to cook potatoes in this device and it would whistle. And I said, Mom, what is that? She said, Johnny, that's called a pressure cooker. And if you don't let the pressure out, the thing will blow up.
But, Governor, whenever something like this happens and you try to bring the topic up, not you specifically, a generic you, everybody says now is not the time to discuss it. Now is not the time to politicize
well, we can't say it. We have to discuss it. I mean, you let a few days go and then you get into it. Yeah. You know, Gayle, I dealt with the issue of race in Ohio, and I brought people who were community activists, liberals into a room, minorities along with law enforcement, and because they were of goodwill, they hammered out some of the most comprehensive change in the way that police and community work. If you can do it with race, right, which is explosive and volatile, why can't you do it with guns?
What makes you think it hasn't been done with guns, that somebody hasn't tried? We had what happened in Newtown, and children were dead, and you think at last people will get together in a room that care.
Nobody put them in a room. No one called them into a room, Charlie.
It's like the Senate. It's the United States' most deliberative body.
Yeah, but I'm talking about...
The parents went to Capitol Hill.
Yeah, look, I'm just giving you the honest answer to this. Okay. Yeah. If I were president, what I would do is I would put these folks in a room, and I'd find out who those people are who are reasonable. When I talk to people who work with the Highway Patrol, they're big gun advocates. When I say, is there a way to figure something out to relieve the pressure, they always say yes. Okay. So, you can't find people who say no way, no how, and you can't find people on the other side who say we're going to take away all the guns. So that's how you do it. I mean, that's the best chance of doing it, and if you don't do it that way, it remains a stalemate.
Okay, so just to be specific, would you support outlawing these bump stocks?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Of course. I mean,
would you take action in your state to outlaw them?
I don't know if I can pass it. I don't know.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly what everything is in Ohio, but
you put your political will on the line to do it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this makes a lot of sense to get rid of this. Nobody wants that. And I think, but we have to do it not in an atmosphere where we're just operating one side. There has to be some common agreement that we're not after taking away people's Second Amendment rights. No. If you don't do it together, I don't think it gets done.
And the Second Amendment rights, they keep saying that, but the Second Amendment rights, they were talking about muskets. You know, the times have changed so drastically.
Gayle, we can have all the philosophizing we want on this show.
You're right.
If you want to get something done, I'm telling you the best path. And I'm not telling you that there's a guarantee, but with the right leadership, you can get it. It's like health care.
Yeah.
You know, look, if in Washington right now, many of the Republicans do not want to do anything to fix the health care system.
Do you think the President of the United States, Donald Trump, has the political will to do this? Is he prepared
you mean to bring I don't know.
To bring the people in the room? Well, that's the question, is it not?
Well, I don't know.
That's the leader of the country.
Well, let me ask you, do you think he does?
Do I think he has?
You know him better than I do, probably. I mean, come on, I don't know. I would like to think he would do that. And I'm not sure where he even is on the issue. Remember, he said something about, well, we'll have to look at all this, and then right away people started attacking.
I mean, let me ask you this. Was this incident in Las Vegas so different because it is the largest mass killing in the history of this country that it might be the precipitation for getting something done?
Well, yes, but what I'm saying is, Charlie, it has to be both sides.
We understand.
And, no, but this is the most important thing.
So here's my
thing. If people think all of a sudden they're going to come take my gun, then they're going to go like crazy. And it's not the NRA as much as the membership, the gun owners across America. And these are people who are Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative. So they have to understand we're not out for some wholesale kind of disarming. What we're talking about here is some common sense things. For example, should we have armor-piercing bullets? You know, I mean, that's a question. What do you do about ammunition? I mean, these are things that have to be talked about of people of goodwill.
Your party, the Republican Party in Congress, recently had a bill that passed out of committee, was up for vote, that would allow armor-piercing bullets and silencers, so there would be a further devolution of gun control.
The silencers are not like it's silent, though. I mean, look, I'm not an expert in all this, but this just lowers the volume of the sound. But now Ryan has said we're going to take a pause. Now, look, what else I want to tell you this morning is I don't want to see these healthcare exchanges fall apart, because it's going to mean that millions of Americans are going to lose health insurance. Now, we have Lamar Alexander and Patty Murray supposedly working on something down there. Now, I've talked to senators of both parties, and I've said there is a way to give states flexibility, which is what Republicans want, and Democrats what they need in terms of wanting to re-embrace Obamacare. But if we don't save these exchanges, if we don't figure out a way to stabilize this, they're going to collapse. Now, we've got to get about this. But right now, there's no agreement. I am begging the Democrats to say, we want to have a compromise. And I'm trying to tell the Republicans we need to have one.
Sounds like you need to be in Washington, Governor.
Oh, I break into a cold sweat whenever I go down there, okay? But I got to tell you one thing. I love John McCain. That is a iconic, amazing man.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Pray for his health.
Yes,
Governor, good to see you.
Always a good conversation here, Governor Kasich.
Great to be with all of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.